Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Rhys Nelson claims he now feels like part of the Arsenal DNA. Rhys Nelson has admitted that this season is the first time he has actually felt like a part of the Arsenal DNA despite working with the first team since the age of 15. The 23-year-old was speaking to Colney Carpool on the Gunners YouTube channel, reflecting on the fact that despite his age, he has been in and around the Arsenal first team for several years already. Reiss Nelson appeared to be destined for great things when he emerged into the senior squad. He made his first team debut at 17, and it has often been apparent just how much talent the youngster has. It has been a turbulent time for Nelson since he has been out on loan on a couple of occasions, and he has struggled for minutes in the Arsenal side, but something is different about the Gunners this season, and while Nelson has not played a lot, he clearly feels that much has changed for him personally too. Nelson was talking about his time working at London Colney after the call up from Hale End, and he outlined how this year is like nothing he has experienced before. He said, I moved up when I was about 15. I moved up here a year earlier than everyone else, so of course, at the start it was a bit hard for me to get my bearings that literally I am actually going to the Arsenal first team. I am guest. Last season, I was on loan. I have come back, and this is one of the first times where I really feel a part of this Arsenal DNA properly. I can feel it. Nelson's comment feel particularly significant because there is speculation over his future at the Emirates. His contract with Mikel Arteta's side expires in the summer. Reports have suggested that Nelson is tempted by the prospect of joining Brighton, and you can understand given his lack of minutes and the trajectory the Seagulls appear to be on, but Nelson's latest comment seems significant. Clearly, he would love nothing more than to be a success with the Gunners. The challenge for Arsenal is to provide the kind of assurances the winger is looking for as he considers his future. Matt Turner says Bukayo Saka is often getting to Arsenal training early. Matt Turner has shared how he will often arrive at Arsenal training early but is often beaten to London Colney by Bukayo Saka each day. The goalkeeper was giving an interview to CBS Morning Footy show as reported by journalist Ben Jacobs, in which he shared just how hard the 21-year-old works. He has been outstanding throughout his time in the first team at the Emirates, and he became the first player in the Premier League this season to reach double figures for both goal and assist. There appears to be no limit to what Saka could achieve, and what will certainly help is how hard he is working to continue to improve. Turner gave an interview in which he discussed a number of subjects to do with his time with Arsenal, and in the chat he outlined just how impressed he has been by the work Saka puts in. He said, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got the right mentality every day. Our training sessions are super intense. I just had a kid and I get to training early, and he is usually there either before me or right after. It sounds obvious, but having players such as Saka in the ranks is only going to benefit Arsenal in the long run. He is one of the best talents in the Premier League, and yet he is putting in the work to improve further. And anyone looking to get his spot knows the length they will have to go to reach anything like his level. It sends out a message to his teammates as well as those looking to break into the side in the years to come. He is setting the standards on the pitch and has been for a long time, and as it turns out, he is doing similar on the training ground. Everton eyeing move for Folarin and Balogun this summer. Everton are one of the sides interested in signing Folarin and Balogun amid doubts over his Arsenal future this summer. That is according to 90 Minute, who name a raft of sides keen on the 21-year-old off the back of his amazing loan spell with Rams in League One. Reports this week claimed that Arsenal could sell Balogun. He is not planning to sign a new contract at the Emirates, and he does not want to leave on loan for a third time. He is also not looking to be anything other than first choice wherever he is playing next season. The Times claimed that AC Milan believed that Balogun could be available for £30 million, and 90 Minute has now named a number of teams who are interested in signing the youngster. In fact, Everton are one of those who are admirers of Folarin and Balogun. Meanwhile, the likes of Wolverhampton, Leicester, Crystal Palace, and Brentford are also in the running. Of course, Everton's hopes of a deal will be dashed if they fail to keep themselves in the Premier League, but if Sindaic's men stay up, there is surely little doubt over what kind of player needs to be at the very top of their wish list. Goals have been a huge problem for the Toffees this season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin continues to struggle to shake off his injury problems, and no Everton player has scored more than 4 goals in the Premier League. In fact, Anthony Gordon remains their joint second top goal scorer, and he left Goodison Park in January. Everton should certainly be able to offer Balogun the chance to be a regular starter, and if they can get themselves out of bother this season, they can perhaps hope that brighter times lie ahead. Balogun is a phenomenal player, enjoying a wonderful year in France. If he can replicate that kind of form in the Premier League, a £30 million fee would be a no-brainer. Fabrizio Romano makes Wilfried Zaha future claim amid alleged Arsenal interest. Wilfried Zaha has yet to decide on his future amid reports of interest from Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano has exclusively revealed in the latest edition of his daily briefing for Count Offside. Foot Mercato via TalkSport alleged that the Gunners were one of several top outfits in Europe to be keeping an eye on the 30-year-old ahead of his potential exit this summer on a free transfer. The Italian journalist wrote, I am told Wilfried Zaha has not made a final decision on the future yet. Crystal Palace are offering him a very important contract. He will decide in the next few weeks. I am not aware of a concrete proposal or talks with Arsenal yet. Bayern have different priorities now. With the Champions League football guaranteed at the Emirates next term, following the remarkable rise of Mikel Arteta's man in 22-23, one might reasonably venture that it would be hard for the Ivorian to turn down a switch to another London club if the opportunity arose. Whether the Spanish coach would feel inclined to add experience to such a young squad remains to be seen. Of course, though, it would be a somewhat inexpensive gamble for the club to take in the interest of adding depth to the forward line. If Foot Mercato's report is anywhere near accurate regarding salary, however, the attacker may need to readjust his expectations of £115,000 a week, which, according to Capology, would put Zaha as the joint seventh highest earner in the squad alongside Martin Odegaard. Arsenal want to sign Crystal Palace star Michael Ollis. Arsenal are reportedly interested in signing Crystal Palace winger Michael Ollis this summer. The Gunners have had an unbelievable season in the Premier League so far. They are currently on top of the table, and if things go to plan in the next 8 games, they will win the title. Edu, however, has one eye on the summer transfer window already, and Ollis is reportedly on his wish list. Arsenal's attack this season has been excellent. Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, and Martin Odegaard have all scored more than 10 goals, while Gabriel Jesus, Edin Ketia, and Leandro Trossard have been brilliant too. Arsenal have plenty of depth in most areas of their attack, but Saka is the only left-footed right winger at the club, apart from young Marquinhos, who is currently out on loan at Norwich City. Mikel Arteta wants another player there this summer, and football transfers reveal that Palace star Ollis has been identified as a target. It has been claimed that the 21-year-old, who was branded as a special talent by Patrick Vieira, is viewed as the ideal backup for Saka on the right flank, and the fact that he is Premier League proven makes him a very attractive option for the Gunners. Crystal Palace reportedly want at least £40 million for Ollis this summer. That fee could drop down to £35 million if they get relegated from the Premier League. Arsenal really do need a backup for Saka on the right wing. The young Englishman is ever present in Mikel Arteta's side. He hasn't missed a game in a long time, and even though he keeps coming up with the goods, it's not wise to keep playing him without giving him a break. A player like Ollis would be an excellent backup for Saka. He is the same age as the Arsenal man, and as he has shown at Crystal Palace, he is more than ready to play against the big sides. It will be interesting to see what will happen this summer. In our opinion, Ollis would be a terrific signing if Arsenal can get him for a good price. Fabio Capello says he is totally changed his mind about Arsenal target Brahim Diaz. Former England boss Fabio Capello has admitted that he is totally changed his mind about reported Arsenal target Brahim Diaz. Arsenal looks set to bolster their squad in the summer after what has been an exceptional campaign so far. Mikel Arteta's man will be dreaming of lifting the Premier League title at the end of the season, but the club are pressing ahead with their transfer plans. Indeed, the Gunners are reportedly preparing an offer for AC Milan star Brahim Diaz. The 23-year-old is enjoying a brilliant loan spell at the San Siro after leaving Real Madrid last summer on loan. He put in another eye-catching performance for the Rossoneri last night as they picked up a 1-0 win in the first leg of their quarter-final clash against Napoli, and Fabio Capello has heaped praise on the Spaniard for the impact he is making under Stefano Pioli this season. Speaking to Sky Sport Italy, Capello admitted that he is totally changed his mind about Diaz as a player this season. He said, I was wrong about Ibrahim Diaz. I didn't like him as a player. I thought he wasn't at Milan's level, but now he has completely changed, improved. He has matured a lot physically and mentally. Before he did a little something, now he does just the things that are needed. Now he makes the difference. Diaz has really impressed this season, and while Milan do have an option to buy the attacking midfielder after his loan spell, that could prove to be difficult if they don't qualify for the Champions League next season. Of course, Arteta has a wealth of options for the attacking midfield role at Arsenal, with Martin Odegaard taking his all-round game to a new level this season. It's still early days for Fabio Vieira after his switch from Porto last summer, but he has shown glimpses of his quality, so it remains to be seen whether Arsenal will move for Diaz. They seem to have more pressing concerns at the base of their midfield, with no like-for-like replacement for Thomas Partey currently in the squad. How much Ansu Fati will cost Arsenal this summer? Ansu Fati could make a shock exit from Barcelona this summer, and Arsenal are among the clubs reportedly interested in his services. The Gunners have done a brilliant job of signing young players and turning them into stars over the last few years. They have one of the youngest sides in the world, but are still leading the Premier League title race. The Emirates seems like the perfect place for talented young players to come and develop. Fati, who is a truly spectacular player, could be the next one. Ansu Fati was once one of Barcelona's most talented young players. The Catalans believed in him so much that they handed him Lionel Messi's iconic number 10 shirt after the Argentine left the club. Fati, 20-year-old, is still a fine talent, but following multiple injuries over the last few years, he has fallen down the pecking order at Camp Nou under Xavi. The Spaniard has played just over 1,500 minutes of football all season. He is clearly not too pleased about that situation, and rumors have linked him with a move away from Barcelona. Arsenal are among the clubs said to be interested in Fati, and Dean Jones' report on Give Me Sport reveals that Barca could consider selling him for just £50 million. Barcelona need to sell a couple of big names to buy two players themselves, and the report claims that Fati could be the one of those who will be sold. Fati is a phenomenal young player. The 20-year-old, despite only starting 13 games in all competitions, has directly been involved in 10 goals this season. He has the potential to become an absolute superstar in the coming years, but his injury history is a concern. Fati has missed 86 games for Barcelona since the start of the 19-20 campaign. He has had 11 different issues over that period, which is really worrying for interested clubs. However, if Arsenal's medical team will give Fati the all clear, he would be a really good signing. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.